Ni hao! Hi mga chingo and mga pengyu!
Hello mga kaibigan and tomodachi!
My name is Jeff.
My name is Erin
And we are your recruiters from JK Network Services.
Welcome to another video of Life as a Bilingual in the Philippines. So right now we will be having one of our successful hire who get a job in JK Network Services. So right now he is currently working in one of the biggest online shopping website across the world.
We will be having an interview with a Chinese foreigner and he has been in the Philippines for a few years now. So let's see his journey. Let's hear his experience on how to land a job in the Philippines.
Hello everyone! So right now we have here Mr. Pan, which is one of our native Mandarin speaker who got a job in one of the online shopping website across the world. So Mr. Pan, can you introduce yourself to our viewers? Is it okay if you can introduce yourself in English and then after that in Chinese?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zhou Pan. I'm from Southeast Province, China. I'm 28 years now. I work in which I got a job from JK. So nice to meet you guys.
Yes.
Okay. Then
In Chinese.
OK， 大家好，我叫潘卓成，来自浙江省。我来到菲律宾已经3年了。现在呢，我在亚马逊工作。通过 JK 的一个介绍，然后呢，这次很高兴能来到 JK 接受这个采访。
Okay, that's a very good introduction, Mr. Pan. So how are you today?
Yeah, I'm fine. Finally, I can meet friends in JK. I'm so excited to take the interview.
We are also very excited to meet you, Mr. Pan. So before we proceed with the formal interview, we will be having a mini game. So this game is called Translation of Tagalog Words. So we will be flashing a series of Tagalog words, and all you need to do is to guess what is the English term for that. Are you ready for this game?
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, so the first word will be expressions or feelings. So first word is malungkot. So do you know the English word for malungkot?
Happy?
Happy. Happy. So is it happy? So yes, malungkot is sad or unhappy. The next word is masaya.
I guess now it's happy.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, fun or happy. Next is matakot.
Surprising?
Surprising. It's actually afraid or frightened. Next part is body parts. So let's see if you're familiar with these words. So the first series of words are paa, tuhod, balikat, and ulo. So how about the paa?
I guess it's foot.
Foot. How about tuhod?
Tuhod, knee.
Knee. How about balikat? It's in your upper body.
Shoulder.
Shoulder. And how about ulo?
Ulo is head.
It's head. Yes, that's correct. You have a lot of words that you are familiar in Tagalog. So next part would be mata, tenga, bibig, and ilong.
Okay. Is it part on head?
Yes, it's actually in your face.
Mata, it's eyes.
Eyes. Okay. How about tenga?
Tenga, ears.
Ears. And how about bibig?
Bibig, mouth.
Mouth. Okay. And ilong?
Ilong is the rest. Nose.
Nose. Okay. That's correct. So for the next part, it's about anything under the sun. So, salumpuwit. Do you know salumpuwit? It's actually a very deeper word for Tagalog.
Yeah, I guess so. You can see the lens.
Yes. Salumpuwit. Do you want a hint?
Yeah, I guess.
It's actually, we are actually seeing this right now in this house.
In this house, and in this house,
It's a non-living thing.
non-living
Yes.
wall.
Wall? Is it wall? So salungkuwit is actually chair.
Oh, sure. Oh.
Okay, how about lamesa, Mr. Pan?
Lemons. Much difficult than before. Lemons.
It's actually important in our house. We always use this.
Table.
Table, it's yes, correct. It's table. Next
Okay.
one is matangkad.
Matanga.
Matangkad. It's like to describe someone.
Is that about personality?
It's a height.
No.
Also an equipment.
No. Actually, the hint is you. Yourself.
It's a description.
It's a description to a person.
To describe someone.
Okay.
Height.
Tall.
Well, it's
Okay.
correct.
Yeah, good job.
Next is maliit. It's also describing a person or a thing. Maliit. It's actually me.
Slim.
Slim. Can
Wow,
you guess
slim.
another word?
What another word?
It's
Tall
actually
and
Short.
short.
Small.
Yes,
Wow.
short or small.
good job.
Okay, so
Okay.
that would be our mini game.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pan, for participating in our mini game. So right now, we will be proceeding with our formal interview. So, Mr. Pan, for how long are you now living in the Philippines?
Yeah, until now I have been living here for 3 years.
Oh, for 3 years. So after you graduated, you came here in the Philippines, or did you plan to go here in the Philippines?
I came here in November 2018.
2018.
Yeah, after graduate from school for 3 months, then I came here. Before came here, I worked in Beijing, China. Yeah.
I see. So you worked in China before going here in the Philippines.
Yes.
So how was your experience the first time you go here in the Philippines?
My experience, I guess, before I came here, all the way I know about the Philippines from online. So, which means I can't know this country completely. So when I first came here, it's kind of different from what I learned online. For example, when I left the airport, what I saw it's like it's hard to use one word to describe. I can see many buildings along the way. I also can see some totally different parts from different parts. So it's kind of very complicated to describe.
I
Yeah.
see. Did you go alone here, or did you go in the Philippines with your friends or relatives?
I came here with my former workmates. Before we both work for a company to work in a Filipino school. So we shared the same schedule. That's why we came here together.
I see. So, Mr. Pan, I'm very curious. I know our viewers also are very curious. What made you decide to go in the Philippines out of all the countries that we have?
I guess the first reason is because of the distance between China and Philippines.
Okay.
At that time, I think it's easy to come here because I guess it's only 2 hours flight. Then the second reason is about I followed my students place because they needed to study here in Filipino school. So I came here to continue the class. The third reason, I guess, it's about the life expense and the expenses. Then I wanted to make some change, make some new friends.
I see. I see. I think you're a very friendly person, not only with the same nationality but also with other nationalities.
Yeah.
So right now, since you are currently living here for 3 years, do you have or did you make more friends, or do you have other nationality friends like Filipino?
In the 3 years, I have met some Filipino friends for work, because before I work in Filipino school. So during work, me and with Filipino workmates, we both taught Chinese students, so we had some connection during work. Besides that, I made some Filipino friends online.
I see.
I need to buy some Filipino food or buy some items. So yeah, it's kind of easy to make Filipino friends.
Okay, that's very good to know. And may I just ask, is there any culture or a culture of Filipino which is similar with the culture of a Chinese?
I guess there are something in common. Like, we both love food.
We both love food, yes.
We both
I
love
totally agree with that.
Yeah, that's true. So sometimes I go to Filipino restaurants and or Chinese restaurants. I can see other Filipino who also enjoying food there. Besides that, I can see many Filipinos, they like recording their lives, like doing TikTok, take selfies. So I feel, in my impression, Filipino are very loving their life.
Okay. I see. That's good to know, Mr.
Yeah.
So the first thing that you noticed, which is similar culture with Filipinos and Chinese,
both happen in China. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. And may I just ask, did you experience, since this will be the first 3 years that you lived here in the Philippines, did you experience any discrimination from Filipino? Or since you are working in a biggest online shopping website, how are your relationship with your Filipino workmates or other nationalities?
I think in daily life, in real life, what I met Filipino, many of them are friendly. They are good. I mean, sometimes I had some hard time. Like, for example, my bicycle broke up on the road, and then I got help from Filipinos. So that's a good thing I experienced. Or in my work, I guess we have good connection with each other. So the only unhappy thing happen, I guess, it's online, but it's okay. I mean, every place has good people or better people. It's okay. Yeah, I can handle that.
I see. How about your experience in your home, or if you will be going outside, did you experience any discrimination?
Actually, it's very rare. Most of the time, I have a good time to stay outside. Yeah, it's okay. But I don't usually stay outside late.
I see. I understand. So, Mr. Pan, can you give me one advantage and one disadvantage of being a Mandarin speaker?
One advantage to be a Mandarin speaker, I guess, it's because here in Philippines, not so many people speak Mandarin. So if I encounter a company who hire Mandarin speakers, which means my native language is a bigger advantage. So I can easily get the job. For example, you mean disadvantage?
Yes, disadvantage.
Disadvantage, I guess. The disadvantage is about if I want to learn another language, and my position is about Mandarin. So I guess I have the limitation to improve myself, expand my career. So I guess it's hard to experience new things. So I guess it's a disadvantage.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Pan, what do you think Chinese people prefer in a working setting or working setup? Do you prefer working in a Chinese company here in the Philippines or in other industries which is not related to Chinese?
I think it's based on personal choice. For example, like my friends, my Chinese friends, based on their experience, because we are teachers, so and based on our qualification, it's better working in a Chinese school, Chinese company, because we have similar educational background, so it will be much easier to get along well with like workmates, to get used to work there like that. So there are also other people who are willing to explore new things, experience different lives. I guess they prefer to work in international companies, which means they can have different experience, make foreign friends, experience different cultures. So it's very hard to say which are their better choices. It's just based on themselves. So,
But in your own opinion, which do you prefer? Is it a Chinese company or international company?
Personally, because now I have the experience to work in international companies.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it fits me. I mean, I like their environment. I mean, the moment we are willing to help each other, we make fun, we make history like that. So I feel I can be the part of the team. I feel like I'm at home, even we are from different places, but it doesn't matter. So personally, now I guess I made the right choice. So my choice is working in
So
international company.
yes, you prefer more an international company, and that's very good since this will be an advantage for you also. Okay, and the next would be, do you think that other Chinese or most of the Chinese are into business, like what they call is business minded?
I think because for example, in Philippines, when you meet Chinese people, I guess many Chinese people have their own business.
Yes.
That's why they come here, because they feel there are still many spaces to conduct their business here, unlike in China. But I think it's not a complete impression about Chinese people. There are also, I think most of Chinese people, they prefer like stable life, stable salary. So those people who have business minded, I guess they only feel part of Chinese.
I see, I understand. So what do you think, based on your own observation, what is the mostly known character of a Chinese in living in China?
My impression,
Yes.
living Chinese people in China.
Yes. Are they business minded or working or workaholic person?
In my impression, like in my friend circle, many of them are teachers.
Teachers.
But in my relatives, many of them are businessmen.
Businessman.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the culture in city. Like for example, in my hometown, many people they want to make money, they want to be rich. So like in my for example, my uncle, they want to be a businessman.
I see. So
yeah,
it depends.
Yeah, it depends.
It depends, I understand. And lastly would be, how would be the cost of living or the difference of cost of living between Philippines and China?
Here in Philippines, I think, for example, the life expense, especially when I go to market, I buy some food. Many food like meat, beef, like that. It's cheaper than in China.
Oh, I
But
see.
the difference, vegetables in China it's cheaper than in Philippines.
In Philippines, I
Yes,
see.
that's the difference about the price. Other ways, I guess, the transportation. Here, many people when they go outside, maybe they take like a jeep. That's the most convenient way. But in China, based as far as I'm concerned, I guess the most common transportation is bus.
Bus.
Yeah, bus.
I see.
Also, there are many ways different, but I guess until now I can handle both ways.
I see. How about renting a house?
Renting
or
a house?
owning a house? Is it way more cheaper here in the Philippines or in China?
It depends on where you live. I mean,
I
bigger
see.
cities like in Beijing or in Manila, there are always many condos you can afford. So, but there are also many choices you can provide it. So, different people, they can live in their own ways. So, I guess in my opinion, there are expensive condos. There are also affordable, condos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, hi! Are you wondering why are Chinese people in the Philippines? So, let's hear from our very successful hire. This is actually our first time to have an interview with a Chinese native who has been here in the Philippines for a few years now. So, I know everyone is wondering if Chinese in the Philippines are all working in an online gaming company. So, let's hear the answer from Mr. Fan. Are you working in an online gaming company?
Online gaming?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so no. What is your visa right now?
Work visa.
Working visa. So it means that Mr. Pan is currently working in a company in the Philippines. So Mr. Pan, can you please tell us something more about your job right now? And without mentioning the company, what industry are you working with?
Not mention with the company?
Yes, don't mention the company.
Okay. It's a secret.
Yes.
Okay. Now I work in a company who is located in Moa. I have been working there for, I guess, around 5 months. Yeah. Also, I have a good time working there because the work and the team. So, which means I can totally handle this job now.
Okay, so what is your current job title?
I'm an investigator.
Investigator. So
Yeah.
are you using English or Mandarin in your job?
Most of the time, we only speak Mandarin because the documents we check is written in Mandarin. So that's why we only write Mandarin, speak Mandarin most of the time. I guess like 95%.
Wow, 95%. But how about your coworkers? How do you communicate with them?
My coworkers, some of them are Chinese like me, some of them are Filipino Chinese. So we can both speak, we can all speak Chinese. And I think it's more effective to speak Chinese during work, compared to speak English.
I understand that. So you are working as an investigator now. Before you get that job, what was your job before?
Before I was a teacher. So I worked here in a Filipino school almost like 2 years. Then because of the pandemic, my students can came here, so that's why I need to make some change.
I understand. So did you have a hard time from being a teacher to becoming a Mandarin investigator?
Yeah, because the two jobs almost have nothing in common. I mean, before when I was a teacher, I had a strong connection with my students. So which means my job was about talking, communication. But unlike now, I work with the laptop. Which means I don't need to talk anymore. Just work, check, or use my eyes. So like that. So things totally different.
I understand. So are you enjoying your job right now?
Yeah, I'm kind of enjoying my job because it's a totally new experience. And I love the environment in my team.
Wow, so it's pandemic. So let's ask, are you working in Pasay or are you working from home?
Currently, I work from home, but next year, since things getting better, so we will go back on site, work on site next year because it's coming soon.
So wow, so Mr. Pan got a work from home job through JK Network Services. So let's hear from him. How did you find JK Network Services?
I remember, I remember that I found JK online, I guess, via Facebook. Because at that time I had the need to look for another job, so I needed to look for a native company here. So apply for a current job so I can solve the visa problem. Yeah.
I understand. So you found JK Network on Facebook.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Did they reply when you send them a message? Are they very quick in responding?
Yes, they have the good attitude. When I had need, the team, the colleagues, they usually keep constantly with me. Yeah, so I can tell them what I need, what my requirements are. So I guess because I'm kind of picky. So after like a couple of after a few months like that, I found the perfect choice. So I really appreciate that.
So thank you so much. Mr. Pan informed us that he was very picky because he needs to look for a job because of the requirements that he has. I think you have some preferences like fixed day shift and you just wanted to work in Pasay, not far from your current house, and you also wanted a job who can provide you a working visa, right?
Yes.
Because he's a foreigner in the Philippines, he needs to work legally in our country. So, Mr. Pan, just to confirm, you have been looking for a job in the Philippines. Is it easier to look for a job if you have an agent like JK Network, especially you are a foreigner?
Yeah, I think because I have clear aim. I mean, I look for a job which are related to Mandarin, so that's a big advantage here. So the skill is very narrow, only about Mandarin. So which means I don't need to look for everywhere. That's the process all I need. I just need to figure out what kind of company they provide positions about Mandarin. Then I just need to make sure I have the qualification or not. So, and with your assistance, actually the thing is very smooth. Yeah.
Wow. So, did the recruiter of JK explain to you the job ahead of time?
Yes. They explain the details about the company and their requirement, so I can find out which I can apply it or not. So yeah, I get many guidance from JK. That's the truth. Yeah.
I understand. How about the interview with the company? Was the interview online?
Yes, the interview is online, and the interviewer asked me about my field working experience and my personality, and they need to make sure whether I can handle this job or not. Yeah, actually, I made it.
Okay, so congratulations, Mr.
Thank
Fan.
you.
For I hope you will enjoy working in the Philippines for a long
Yes.
time. So, just in case, do you have any tips for Chinese nationals like you who are looking for a job in the Philippines? Do you have some tips for them in
Okay,
getting a job?
sure. Based on my personal experience, I think one of the most important tips is that you need to learn the company very well. I mean, you need to search their information, their culture, their requirement. So then, when you take the interview, you can show your best way of yourself to the interview, to the company. So I guess that's the best tip. Yeah.
Okay, that's a very good tip. So one of my last questions would be, who is your favorite recruiter in JK?
uh, it's very hard. It's very hard to say because I got many help from different colleagues in JK. So I just love this team.
I'm so happy to hear that. So JK Network has the friendliest recruiters. How did they help you? Did they only help you in the initial interview, or how about in completing your requirements like SSS, pag-ibig, PhilHealth? Because foreigners should also pay that when they are employed in the country. So how was it?
That's true. Not only they introduce about the positions, but after I successfully got the job, I needed to prepare so much things for work visa like SSS, Philippine Health, then NC. I forgot the name.
Like PIN number?
Yeah, like that. So I also got the help from JK about how to apply for that. So I guess it's about 2 months. Yeah, finally I made it. It's really hard for a foreigner to do it by myself.
Okay, so I'm very happy for all the good words, Mr. Pan, and I hope if there are Chinese who are looking for a job, please contact JK Network Services and rest assured that we will be helping you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you.